Good morning. Mic on.
Yeah.
I would like to call the LRA meeting to order. I'm Calvin Arnold, the LRA chairman. On behalf of myself, fellow commissioners, the mayor of the city of St. Louis, the comptroller's office, the city board of education, Neil Richardson, Sheldon Anderson, and the employees of the LRA, we welcome you. It is a job of the LRA to sell unutilized developed properties to residents and developers that have the financial ability to and the expertise to redevelop such properties to get them back on the tax roll. In a few moments, we will start our procedures listed on the agenda for today. If anyone that has signed up to speak on behalf of their offer, you will be given that chance. But please limit your presentations not more than 3 minutes. Thank you.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I'd like to start with a call to order. Commissioners,
Yes. Commissioner Arnold,
Yes.
Commissioner Brown. Present. Commissioner Heights.
present. Next, till I get approval of the minutes for March 26, 2025.
So moved.
It's been moved. I need a second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Minutes are approved. I'm sorry, the roll call vote?
Commissioner Arnold,
Present.
Yes.
Aye.
Commissioner Brown. Yes. Commissioner Heights.
Yes. Do we have a report from the commissioners?
No.
No report.
I don't have a report either. Next, we will go to action of order of purchase. Right, that's what I got. We're going to office of purchase. Office of purchase are parcels owned by LRA that consist of unoccupied grounds or physical structures, single-family residence, side lots, two-family or four-family, et cetera. The officers have submitted offers to purchase with the intentions of rehabbing properties as residential or commercial projects and extensions of their yard space, community gardens, green space to enhance and beautify the community. At this time, anyone who wishes to speak can speak now.
Hi, my name is Sherilyn Mershon, and I was trying to invest in this property. It was for me and my kids to stay, and I've bought property from LRA before. I put $500 down for buying it because that's what it said it was worth. I didn't. Other than that, I was just trying to buy it for me and my family and fix it up.
Okay, thank you.
I think that's for number 51, Lena Vale.
Good morning.
Hi.
Sorry, maybe it's 52. It's for 3 vacant lots on, that's it, correct? Yes. All right, so just to point out here, the reasoning for purchasing 3 lots is because the lots are perpendicular to my home at 3314 Blair. And I believe at least 3 of those lots are necessary for my proposal. The immediate goal is to replace the natural windbreak, which was full of trees and shrubs. In 2022, the Department of Forestry cut down the original trees lining those lots, which removed that natural windbreak. that protected my property for years. A year later, my home suffered thousands of dollars in wind damage during a storm. And as you may know, unobstructed wind flow through those vacant lots may cause more intense winds, which resulted in significant siding and roofing damage. So replanting trees and high shrubs is not cosmetic, but it's necessary to protect the property and prevent additional insurance claims. Another short-term plan just includes off-street side parking for safety due to numerous high-speed pursuits, a past hit and run during a high-speed pursuit, and theft. My longer-term 3-year plans include installing a privacy fencing to merge a portion of these lots into 3314 Blair, and the remaining unfenced lots will include perennial landscaping for neighborhood beautification. Lastly, the grading of the land to prevent pooling, drainage, and foundation issues at my home. And in the picture, you can see there's a large slope to the property, goes uphill and runs right down to the foundation of my home. This is my third time submitting applications since 2019, and these lots have green lanes, which from my understanding means they should only be used for green space. I do believe my proposal falls under those guidelines. LRA has owned these lots for over 25 years, and there has been no development or tax revenue generated. Directly across the street from these lots and my home is an auto junkyard, a steel yard, and government air monitoring site. All three are industrial businesses that greatly impact redevelopment potential in this immediate area. So my question for the board regarding my past proposal is, what is the city's formal definition of highest and best use for residential lots such as these? And if my current proposal is viewed as insufficient, are you able to offer a counter proposal, guidance, or at least the chance to align my plans with the city's preferences? Simply put, what does the board recommend for these lots to be used other than a simple denial? So I do respectfully ask the board to reconsider my application, or at minimum, provide an alternate proposal so that well-meaning homeowners like myself can help get decades-old lots back on the tax rolls. And if you have any questions, I'm open to answer anything. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Have you spoken to the neighborhood, the community, the housing organization in the community?
No, on my block, there's 3 homes on a full city block and only 2 are occupied. The one in between us has been vacant since I moved in the property. So, and behind me, there are 4 additional houses similar to mine across the alley that are in really good standing, and most are rentals. So I haven't talked to any neighbors. I do attend the neighborhood association meetings, but most of the time they have a very specific agenda, and I didn't necessarily think that this particular lot would be one that will require, neighbor input, but I'm open to that if necessary. So, yeah. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker we have is for item number 4. That Hobson. Item number 4.
Good morning. This is our first time purchasing a LRA house. I do buy property, so I'm familiar with buying property. We actually own a house across the street from this property. So this house, we do want to go ahead and rehab it. But we do have a question. And one of the question was, I was told that the city is talking about condemning the house, tearing it down. Are you guys aware of that? So what do we do?
James, could we
We've made an offer and we do want to buy it. We're familiar with fixing stuff up.
We don't have the answer to that question right here, so we'll have to get that answer back to you.
Okay,
Okay,
sounds good.
all right, thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 34B.
34B. 34B.
Hello, my name is James Grimmett from Redesign Network. I have made an offer to purchase 5477 Genevieve. This is my second time making the offer. I own the building 5476 Genevieve right now. Purchased it April 1st. I'm in the process of getting a refinance renovation loan, which I'll close on tomorrow. So I think the first time I got denied because of lack of funds. So I've been doing this since I think 2000, did both new construction and renovations, do major renovations like total gut rehab and such. That's kind of how I do my loans. I can purchase it and then I refinance with a renovation loan. So. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
very much.
The next speaker is for item number 40. Number 40. Jeffrey Perry. Number 14, Dr. Stearns.
Number 14.
14.
Dr. Stearns, number 14. Should be right back. Item number 10.
Walk out.
Hello, everyone.
Morning.
My name is Sandy Shannon. I'm with Liberty Tax Service. The name of my business is Shannon Tax Services LLC. I do business as Liberty Tax Service. And I opened my office on North Grand in November of 2020. Our first tax season was January of 2021, and we're currently open and operating there now. When we first got the space, we rehabbed it and turned it into an office space. And we are currently the only Liberty Tax Service located in north side of St. Louis. And the business has been doing very well on North Grand. We're looking to build a new office, which is currently across the street from this lot. So we're looking to just build a new office space there and continue to support the community on the north side of St. Louis.
Okay, number 14, Leah Burnett.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me here today. My name is Leah Lee Burnett, and I come before you today not only as a potential buyer, but as a caretaker of this community, someone who has been rooted in service for the last 5 years. Since 2020, I've been giving away free vegetables and herbs on the corner of Hamilton and Maple, just walking distance from the land that I seek to purchase.
Week after week, season after season, I've built trusted relationships with my neighbors, showing up with healthy food, a listening ear, and a commitment to seeing our community thrive. My garden is not just a space to grow food, it's a place to grow people. It has become a sanctuary where children learn how to plant their first seeds, where elders share their stories, and where the community gathers to reclaim agency over our health and future. This work addresses a real and urgent need in our neighborhood. Right now, there's no access to fresh produce within a 5-mile walking radius. And for many of my neighbors, especially seniors, mothers with small children, and those without reliable transportation, that distance makes it nearly impossible to maintain a healthy diet. By cultivating this land, I am solving a problem that too often goes unseen: the basic human right to fresh, nourishing food. The soil beneath our feet holds deep legacy. Long before any of us were here, indigenous peoples, including the Mississippian culture, lived in and cultivated this land. In later centuries, St. Louis became a gateway during the Great Migration as thousands of Black families fled racial terror in South, seeking opportunity and freedom. Yet here too, they're faced with segregation, redlining, and disinvestment. Neighborhoods like the Ville became pillars of Black excellence, places where culture, education, and resilience thrived despite systematic barriers. The West Side, where I live and work, carries this legacy. It is a place shaped by struggle and strength, by by the determination to build and rebuild despite every obstacle. Even now, as so many lots remain vacant and resources are scarce, the spirit of the community endures. The parcels I seek to purchase are more than just empty spaces. They are opportunities to deepen and expand a living legacy. With your support, I will continue to fight food insecurity, foster community pride, and honor the history of those who came before us. Thank you for considering this request.
Thank you.
And we have number 40D. Moyo.
What was that again?
40D.
40D. By me?
Other people that signed up to speak on my behalf as well.
Yeah, it's not necessary.
It's not that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Has anyone been overlooked that has signed up to speak on their behalf of any item? That have not, someone has not spoken for already. You only have one. That concludes our list of speakers. The gentleman wanted to just give you a letter of support, for the meeting, but I think they may already have it. That concludes, our speakers.
And this is for.
Excuse me, sir.
You have to be, I kind of figured.
Thank you. Thanks for her.
We'd like to thank you all for your input. I will get into the sales. Is there anyone online who would like to speak?
Hello, good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good morning. My name is Jessica Gaines. I am a Chief Construction Officer for Dream Builders for Equity, and I'm speaking on behalf of this offer of the 6 vacant lots on both Angel Rot and Agnes. Dream Builders for Equity is a nonprofit that's place-based in Hyde Park. We do senior home repairs for the seniors there and free senior home repairs for the seniors in Hyde Park, somewhere between 5 and 10 per year. We also sometimes receive properties from the neighborhood association to rehab and then sell back to first-time homeowners under market value. We add equity to these buildings by putting in top grade finishes, making sure that they have off-street parking, redoing all of the systems, so on and so forth. These lots here on Angel Rot and Agnes consist of the 2 standing buildings that you see. The one, and actually they're kind of switched. That single story that's all brick is actually the one on 1916 Agnes, and the one with the siding is 1923 Angel Rot. We plan to rehab that building, and the one on 1916 Agnes actually has the back that is completely fallen off, and the entire roof structure is gone. So we'll most likely have to demolish that building and rebuild something comparable there within cultural resource guidelines. But we plan to keep going in our efforts to attack the vacancy epidemic here in Hyde Park. And continue with rehabbing, selling the properties under market value to first-time homeowners or potential homeowners that would like to stay in Hyde Park. We're currently working with Habitat for Humanity on a $2.5 million new market tax credit grant that is slated to rehab and build new 8 homes. We've completed 2 of those and sold 2 in 6 days of completion to new first-time homeowners on Malincrot, and we invested about $500,000 into those 2 properties total. And I'm available to answer any questions that you might have.
No questions at this time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. What number?
Miss Stephanie?
Yes, number 8. Good morning. My name is Stephanie Moore. I am here representing Vision LLC. We are interested in purchasing a building that is on one of the lots. It's 3 lots in total. One lot does have an erected building on them. The other 2 lots are flanking both sides of the building. I have purchased from LRA before in 2011, had a successful full gut rehab, and we're interested in doing the same for this property as well as rebeautifying the community. One side of the street is fairly developed, and then the other side of the street has a lot of abandoned and vacant buildings. And so we want to start the process of rehabbing the other side of the street on Kensington.
Okay, thank you.
Ms. Number?
Hello, this is Princess Birch. I was calling in regards to 4011 Finney Avenue, with Derek Jones and Princess Birch. I'm sorry, I don't know which number that is currently.
What number, Sarah?
She don't. 31. Thank you.
Yes, sir. And 4011 Finney Avenue.
Number 40.
Yes,
All right.
thank you so much.
Thank you.
For 40, number C.
40.
Number C, letter C.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Yes, so this is a property that we were really interested in. Over the past few months, we actually did take a drive down to see the property and see the neighboring area around it. I'm originally from East St. Louis, and I often come back to St. Louis to visit because all of my family is still in the area. Most of them live in like Florissant or near the Fox area, the Fox Theater district. But every time I come back home, it's never a place for me to go because we actually don't have much home ownership in our family. So it was really something that I wanted to accomplish, getting this house and being able to do a rehab. I do know some of the people who've owned LRA property and have done renovations. I have someone who I work with from Continuous Deeds Foundation who owns a few of the properties, including one that she has for her own foundation headquarters. And this is someone who I plan on having work with me. This is someone who has shown me her own property and helped me walk through it and understand how to build up, as well as also has told me multiple people that I would be able to have on the project as far as like the electricians, HVAC. We also went the last time we were down there to interview people as well, to meet all of the workers for the construction, for the drywalling, and for the plumbing too. So I just wanted to be able to reach out. This is my second time doing a LRA application, and thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I believe we're number 184458 Margaretta. Can I proceed?
Yes.
Yes, my husband and I have tried to buy this property before, when it was just a two-family apartment building, and it was denied. But we were told the lot, it would be transferred to a vacant lot, and we just like to purchase it to, first of all, get it off the list of LRA properties, but also expand it where we can park our cars. Right now, there's an open lot, and we see people that are walking across the lot, and it's just because we're seniors, kind of an unsafe feeling to just have people going back and forth across the lot. Of course, it's not ours yet, but we plan to enhance it by fencing it and also using it to park our cars on that lot. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I will go into our office of purchase. I know I read it once, but just for transparency, office of purchase are parcels owned by LRA that consist of unoccupied grounds or physical structures, single-family residence site lots, two-family, four-family, et cetera. The officers have submitted offers to purchase with the intention of rehabbing properties or residential or commercial projects, and extension of their yards, community gardens, green spaces to enhance and beautify the community. We will start with A, new construction. Our new constructions are for Class A lots, a minimum of 4,000 square feet in total land with no more than 3 continuous lots per offer. We start with number 1, Exhibit A, Dream Builders for Equity in care of Michael Wood. Our recommendation is
I move that we accept this offer of $4,665, with closing being contingent upon approval of plans, budget, and financing.
do I have a second?
Second.
Previous roll has the vote. It's been moved in second. Do I have any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 2, from Cortez and Erica Williams, 3701 Pennsylvania. Recommendation, Connor sir?
7.7, two,
Three.
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 Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay, it's three, my fault. 3707 Pennsylvania and 2647 Rutgers. Our recommendation is to counter for 14,400 with the closing contingent upon approval for plans, budget, and finances. Do I have a motion?
Second.
So moved.
Previous roll has the vote. It's been moved in second. Hearing no nays, motion passed.
Did you say all three parcels?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
you did.
Okay.
They got me together.
Okay.
We're going to B, as-is rehab program. As-is rehab program are Class A residential buildings up to 6 units, no more than one building with no more than 2 continuous lots or 1 commercial building. With number 3, we have Adrian Skinner Ward at 5464 Genevieve. Our recommendation is to accept the 600 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and finance. Do I have a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second.
So-
So moved. So moved. It's been moved in second. Previous row has to vote.
Just for
Sir.
clarity, we'll have, he was moving and
Yeah.
Director Arnold was
Second.
seconding.
Yes, sir.
Just
Hearing
request
any,
for previous roll.
previous row has to vote. Hearing no nays. Motion passed. Number 4, Jarrell Hertz and Yvette Hopkins, 942 Cannon Avenue. Recommendation, acceptance of the 1,300 with closing contingent upon approval.
So moved.
It's been moved in second.
No one
No,
seconded.
second, yeah.
I get ahead of myself.
You get it.
Get ahead of myself. It's been moved in second.
Second. Man,
Any objections? No. Previous row has to vote. Motion passed. Where we at? Number 6. No.
Fine.
Number 5, Randolph Patterson Jr., 879 Canaan Avenue. Recommendation? Oh, I'm sorry. Get carried with 9009 Newbie also. Recommendation to counter for $2,083 with clothing contingent upon approval and financing.
So moved.
second.
It's, previous row has to vote. It's been moved in second. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 6, Exhibit 8, Asherton Watts. So, it's 57, no.
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 Oh, it's multiple lots. Acceptance of, recommendation, acceptance of 3,500 with clothing contingent upon approval of budget and finance. Can I get a motion?
Second.
No, so moved. I move that we accept the offer of 3,500 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and financing.
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 7, okay. Number 7, Kevin Brantlett, 5530 Genevieve. Recommendation, acceptance of the 600 with clothing contingent upon approval.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved in second.
All right, yeah, just, that's
Previous
approval of
roll.
budget and financing.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. It's been moved in second. Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 8, Tanner Vision LLC, care of Stephanie Moore. We have multiple lots, 5038 Kensington, 5036 Kensington, and 5040 Kensington. Recommendation, counter of $4,298 with clothing contingent upon approval, budget, and finance. Got to get a motion?
Yes, I move that we counter that, yes, with $4,298 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and financing.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has to vote. Do I have any? No nays? Motion passed. Number 9, Shirley Marshawn. Address 5530 Genevieve. Recommendation, rejection in favor of another offer. Got a motion?
So moved that we reject the offer in favor of another offer.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. C, development. Fine.
Good. Okay.
C, on development programs or offers of partials owned by LRA that consists of physical structures, single-family residence, side lots, two-family, four-family, et cetera, for the rehab or construction of any combination of the following: rehab and/or construction of mixed-use buildings, rehab and/or construction of multiple residential buildings, or rehab of residential buildings with more than 6 units. Number 110, Shannon Tax Services LLC, 3126 North Grand. Recommendation, rejection due to not in the highest or best use of partial.
So moved.
Second.
Reject the offer because it's not in the highest and best use of parcel.
Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 11, Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end demolition LLC, and Carol Daniel Wallace. We have multiple properties. And we are recommendation, deferring pending review of community-driven input, community support prior to commission's decision. Got to get a motion?
Second.
It's been motioned second. Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays?
Have you reflected as moving and Director Arnold is seconding?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hearing any nays, motion passed. Oh, okay. Once I make the motion, okay.
Exactly.
All right, good.
Yeah, we'll say.
I'm just doing too much. All right. Going to number 12, correct? That's where we are. All right. Okay, we're on general lot purposes. General lot purposes provides guidelines for the sale of LRA vacant lots, Class A, for any purpose other than new construction, building, rehab, or development. 12 is American Tower in care of Christopher Flammer, 2950 Benton Street. Recommendation, defer for further investigation. Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. I moved, okay. Number 13, Vincent Chisholm, 5156 Minerva. Recommendation, I move to reject due to insufficient financial resources. Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 14, Growing Food, Growing People, care of Leah M. Barnett, multiple properties. A recommendation, counter $2,131 with clothing contingent upon, I make a motion upon approval of plans, budget, and financing. Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 15, Candace Henderson, also multiple properties. Recommendation, I make a motion to counter for $3,011 with clothing contingent upon approval of budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 16, Thomas Merriweather, 5264 Page. I make a motion, approve the recommendation or acceptance of $3,300 with clothing contingent upon approval and budget and finance. Second. Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 17, Rena Pope, 3809 Cook. I make a motion to accept the recommendation of the yes, I move to defer contingent upon approval of LCRA for parcels located at 3801 and 3765 Cook. Can I get a second?
Second.
Any nays? Hearing none. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Raymond and Allison Infields, 4458 Margaretta Avenue. Recommendation, I make a motion to counter for $1,717 with closing contingent upon approval and budget and finance. Got a second?
Second.
Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Jeremy Carson, 5109 St. Louis Avenue. Recommendation, I make a motion to counter for $1,197 with closing contingent upon approval of financing. Can I get a second?
Second.
Previous row has the vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. We don't have any side lots. Next, we have optional renewals. Optional renewals are offers requested for additional time to complete projects due to the construction delay. Funding, et cetera, are options that are near expiration. Officer must display proof of consistent progress to receive renewals of option and extensions of time. We have number 20, 2227 Angelica Street with Crystal Pritchard. Recommendation, I make a motion to accept the $4,000 for 6 months option with closing contingent upon plans, budget, and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been second. The previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 21, Exhibit A, Florida D. Last Development, and Carol Laura Hughes. We have, I make a recommendation to accept the $23,563 24-month option with closing contingent upon plans, budget, and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been seconded. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Next, we have Proposition NS Stabilized Buildings. The Prop NS program is a strategic initiative with a goal of stabilizing vacant residential buildings owned by the city of St. Louis Land Reutilization Authority, which offers them for sale. The program was established by the community to make it possible for LRA to improve properties within the city land bank of vacant buildings. The investment is intended to increase the likelihood that these properties will be purchased by private parties who will then finish their rehab and transfer current deteriorating buildings into decent housing for their communities. Next, we have 1122 Chambers Street. We have multiple offers. I move to accept the recommendation of the 2516 with closing contingent upon approval and financing, and a recommendation of rejecting B, C, D. Can I get a motion?
I make a motion that we
I-
accept
I did.
offer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Got to get a second?
second.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Is that okay? Okay. Yes, sir. All right. Next, we have 4236 West Cook Avenue. I make a motion for recommendation to accept the 3400 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and financing. Can I get a second? Yeah. I'm sorry, Lorenzo Campbell. I make a motion recommendation to accept the 3,400 with closing contingent upon approval, budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's moved and second. Previous roll has the vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 245249 Emerson Avenue. We have two offers. One is A, Vibrant Brew Realty, and B, Baden Investment. I make a motion to accept 2,000 for Vibrant Brew, 2,000 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and finance, and a motion to reject for Baden LLC, rejection in favor of another offer. May I have a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 25, 5114 Page Avenue, multiple offers. A is Sandy Shannon, and B is Vibrant Blue Realty. I make a motion recommendation to acceptance of 5,000 with closing. I'm so first, I make a motion to accept for Shannon. Recommendation acceptance of 5,000 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and finance, and reject Vibrant Blue in favor of another offer. Could I have a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 265449 St. Genevieve Avenue. 5449 Genevieve Avenue. I said 59, didn't
You keep saying 49.
I? Oh. 5459 Genevieve Avenue. We have two offers, A and B, Vibrant Blue LLC, and B, Baden Investment. My motion is to accept the recommendation of rejecting Vibrant Blue in favor of another offer, and to accept Baden Investments acceptance of $1,100 with closing contingent upon approval, budget, and finance. Got a good second?
Second.
Previous row has the vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 27, once again, multiple offers. 5942 through 5944 Plymouth Avenue. We have A, Sandy Shannon, B, Vibrant Blue Realty, and C, Value First Contractors. My first recommendation is to reject.
Andy. Shandy.
Okay. I'd like to make a motion recommendation to accept Value First Contractors acceptance of 2,500 with the closing contingent upon approval, budget, and finance, and reject B, Vibrant Blue, rejection due to approval of another offer, and A, Sandy Shannon, rejection due to approval of another offer. I have a second?
Second.
Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 28. We have two offers. We have 4664 Labadee. We have A, Vibrant Blue, which I'm making a recommendation to accept of $3,400 with closing contingent upon approval, budget, and finance, and B, reject Morgan Charleston, rejection due to insufficient financial resources. May I have a second?
Second.
Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 29, 3051 Marcus Avenue. We have a recommendation of Mary H. Biscayne. My recommendation is to reject due to insufficient financial resources. May I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, I moved. Okay. Okay. Previous row has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Number 30, 4948 Maple. We have multiple offers. A, Vibrant Blue Realty. and also BTD contracting. I make a motion to accept the 1,000 with contingent upon the closing approval of budget and finances for BTD Contract LLC and reject Vibrant Blue Realty rejection due to approval of other offer. Could I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous roll has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 31, 4605 McMillan. Offers from Derek Jones and Princess Birch. I have my recommendation is to accept 3,500 with closing contingent upon approval and budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's a moving in second. Previous roll has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 32, 51, 58 Minerva Avenue. Multiple offers. We have Vibrant Blue Realty LLC and Vince Chisholm. My recommendation is rejection of Vibrant Blue due to approval of offers, and also B, Vincent Chisholm, recommendation, rejection due to insufficient financial resources. Can I get a second?
Second.
You're moving to reject both of those?
Yes, sir. Done. It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 33, 5203 Minerva. We have just one offer. We have Vibrant Blue Realty. I make a recommendation to reject due to approval of another offer. Got a second?
Second.
That's okay.
Not mad one.
It is okay. It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Nays have it. I'm sorry. No objections. Motion approved. 34, 54, 77 Genevieve. Multiple offers again. Vibrant Blue LLC. I make a motion to reject Vibrant Blue Realty due to approval of another offers, and accept B, Design Network LLC. Recommendation is to accept for $1,000 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 35, we have 5734 Era Avenue from Vibrant Blue Realty. My recommendation is reject due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
I move to reject due to approve another offer. Second. Give me a second.
Second.
Thank you. It's been moved in second. Previous row has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 36, 4010 St. Louis Avenue. We have Randy Jones, investors. Recommendation, I move to accept the 7,500 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and finance and proof of paid 2024 taxes. Will I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 37, 4718 Clover. We have multiple offers. Vibrant Blue Realty and Samuel D. Gray. I make a motion to reject, by recommendation, I make a motion to reject Vibrant Blue due to the approval of another offer. And B, Samuel D. Gray, I make a motion to accept the 1,100 for closing contingent upon approval of budget and financing. Can I get a second?
Second.
If we're moving to second, previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 38, 5946 Hamilton Terrace. Vibrant Blue Realty. I make a motion to reject due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 39, 40, 4257 Labadie Avenue. Offer from Vibrant Blue. I make a recommendation of rejecting due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 4011 Finney. We have multiple offers. A, Donald Lewis, and B, Vibrant Blue also LLC. I make a motion. It's one of the side, okay. Okay, and also C, Derek Jones and Princess, and D, Sheila Basso. I make a motion to accept A, Donald Lewis with the recommendation acceptance of 8,500 with closing contingent upon approval, budget and financing. And I make a motion to reject Vital Blue Realty, which is B, rejection due to approval of another offer. C, Derek Jones and Princess Birch, recommendation due to approval of another offer. And D, Sheila Basso, recommendation rejection due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 41, 4631 Page Avenue. We have multiple offers. We have A, Vibrant Blue Realty. We have B, Sherry Watkins, and C, Katisha Harris. I make a motion to accept B, Sherry Watkins, recommendation to accept the $2,400 with closing contingent upon approval, budget and finances, and recommendation to reject A, Vibrant Blue Realty due to approval of another offer, and C, Dr. Harris, recommendation rejection due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 42, multiple offers again, which is 4605 to 4607 Pope. We have Randy Jones Investors, A and B, Sandy Shannon. My recommendation, I make a motion to reject due to the approval of another offer on A, Randy Jones, and also B, Sandy Shannon. I make a recommendation of a rejection due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moving to second. Previous row had to vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 43, we have 2030 John Avenue. We have James Highgrade. I recommend we accept the 500 with closing contingent upon the approval of budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
I move. Okay, I get it. It's been moving in second. Hearing any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. I request a previous row, right? Thank you, sir. Previous row has the vote. 44, 2013 John Avenue. E. Wright Investment Strategies. I make a motion to accept 2,000 with closing contingent upon approval, budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moving to second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 45, 4724 St. Louis Avenue. We have she twice. Oh, okay, it's the only one. We have Sandy Shannon. I make a motion to reject due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moving to second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 46, 5112 Wales Avenue. We have multiple offers. We have A, Sandy Shannon, B, Letitia Jeffries. I make a motion to reject A, Shannon due to approval of another offer, and B, Letitia Jeffries rejection due to insufficient financial service resources. Could I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 47. We have 5243 Genevieve, Vibrant Blue Realty. I move to reject due to approval of another offer. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. Donations, we don't have any donations. Next, we go to miscellaneous. Miscellaneous items are request change from the original approved board decision. These may include a change of in-use, name change, etc. The request must go before the board for consideration. First, we have change offer from Corey Watson, 40-20-25 Lee, 40-29 Lee, 40-35 Lee. I make a motion that we counter for $1,897 with closing contingent upon approval of budget and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 49, we have Taylor Jones at 4229 East Page Boulevard and 4233 East Page Boulevard. I've moved that we counter for $4,000 with closing contingent upon approval and finance. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 50, 4967 Claxton Avenue. I move that I recommend acceptance.
Then we,
I get a second?
I make the motion that we change the end use. For that, we accept the change of end use.
Okay, we accept. Clerk, you miss-
Make the motion that we
I
accept.
I make a motion that we change the end use. Okay,
Just need a second.
Second.
it's been moving in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 51, we have Leanna Bell, 1427 Buchanan Street, 29 Buchanan Street, and 1431 Buchanan Street. I move rejection due to the partials not being in the best and highest use. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. It's still deferral. Deferrals. 52, we have 5438 Oriole Avenue with Robert Deal and Tiffany Hunter. Recommendation, I move that we defer review of community-driven input, community support prior to commission decision. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 53, Tommy Tucker II. We have 844 North Kings Highway, 846 North Kings Highway, and 830 North Kings Highway. Recommendation, I move that we acceptance of the $6,616 with 20-month options, with 24-month option, with clothing contingent upon approval of plans, budget, and financing. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved to second. Preview will have the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 54, 4133 Geraldine Avenue. We have Monarch Waste Company LLC. Recommendation, I move that reject due to lack of community support. Can I get a second?
Second.
Been moved in second. Previous roll has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 55, 1433 Clinton, U.S. Services LLC, in care of Solis Perry. Recommendation, I move we defer pending review of community-driven input, community support prior to commission's decision. Can I get a second, please?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous roll has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 56, we have Mark Guido Jr., 3254 North 20th, 3256 North 20th, and 3260 North 20th. Recommendation, I move that we defer pending review of community-driven input, community support prior to commission's decision. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous roll has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. We have 57, 4117 1A Avenue. I'm not gonna even try that. We have recommendation. Recommendation, I move to reject due to not in the highest use of partial. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? We got, it's fine, okay. It's, hearing any nays, hearing none, motion passed. 58. Yeah, you did, you said,
Okay.
you did.
Go ahead.
He did second it, didn't he? Did
You,
did you second it?
I didn't actually hear,
I didn't, right.
but
We'll go over.
Right.
yeah, why don't we go
do
and
it
do it then?
Okay. 4117 warning. I'm, a recommendation, I make a motion that rejection due to not in the highest use of the partial. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. 58, Moses L. Clark, 8422 Lowell, 6052 Schultz, and 4478 Penrose. Recommendation, I move that we defer to next meeting. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed. That concludes our sales for today. Next we have resolutions. Sir. Let me.
I missed that. We're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
we can move on to the resolution.
All right. So where is it? It's Shelton. Oh. Next, we move to resolution. And off of Shelton. Okay, Shelton.
Yes, good morning, commissioners and everyone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So the first resolution that is being presented is resolution number 25-LRA-083. For this resolution, I would like to call forth Mike Ziegler, as you know, who is the director of Green City Coalition. So Mike will present the resolution and supportive of the recommendation to move forward to the commission to vote to approve after Mike's presentation. Mike.
Hi, good morning, Shelton. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for the opportunity to present. My name is Mike Ziegler. As Shelton said, I'm the director of the Green City Coalition. As most of you are familiar, The Green City Coalition is a cooperative agreement between SLDC and LRA, Missouri Department of Conservation, the City of St. Louis, which is both forestry and the planning department. And we hold Missouri Conservation Heritage Foundation as our fiscal sponsor. The mission of the Green City Coalition is to transform vacant land and underutilized park space into community green spaces that work to promote access to nature, biodiversity, climate resilience, and neighborhood transformation. This resolution seeks the authorization to renew this cooperative agreement with the partners that I mentioned before. It's substantially similar to previous agreements for the past 3 years, with just slight updates in the deliverables for each party, and with a 20% increase in MDC's financial contribution up to $315,000. So with that, I'm open to any questions about this resolution seeking this authorization.
You have any questions?
So with the information, Commissioner, with the information presented, I'd like to make a motion that we accept resolution number 25 LRA-083.
I second.
It's been moved in second.
Previous roll has to vote. Hearing any nays? Hearing none. Motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners. And additionally, again, as Mike supports all efforts and leads all efforts for Green City Coalition, we do have one additional resolution, which is Resolution 25-LRA-084, which is in regards to the RFP for rain garden maintenance. So Mike will discuss briefly the specific rain garden maintenance that's governing this resolution, and then more broadly, the efforts in all of our Green City Coalition spaces to promote green space, as well as the existing rain gardens that LRA maintains. Mike?
Thank you, Shelton. Again, and I'll be done after this one. So I've already kind of explained what GCC is and what it does. One way that GCC fulfills its mission is by converting vacant lots into green spaces that use nature-based stormwater solutions, such as rain gardens, native landscapings, and other types of green stormwater infrastructure. These types of installations require a specific skill set in regards to maintenance. And so also on 2 of these sites, one in College Hill and one in Walnut Park East, the LRA has entered into maintenance agreements with MSD for these green stormwater features. So in order to maintain these, we would like to release, or I'm seeking authorization to release a request for a proposal, or RFP, so that we can then form a selection committee and recommend a contractor to maintain these rain gardens and native landscaping at these sites. And the funding from this would come from ARPA beautification funds that were approved through a specific allocation to the Green City Coalition by the Substantial Awards Committee. So again, if you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. Otherwise, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, with that presentation, I would like to make the motion that we approve resolution number 25 LRA-084.
Second.
It's been moved in second. Previous roll has to vote. Any nays? Hearing none. Motion passed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioners, and thank you, Mike. We appreciate your work and the importance of GCC, and again, how it really aligns with the overarching vision for LRA in taking vacant and abandoned property and turning it into productive use, and for GCC specifically, community uses. Commissioners, I would now like to move forward in presenting the next resolution, which is Resolution 25-LRA-085. This resolution, simply put, is for the approval of an agreement for property conditions assessments on LRA building inventories. As you are aware, the LRA and the St. Louis Regional Crime Commission entered into an agreement. That agreement was, of course, in 2023, end of 2023. for the efforts in moving forward with the $15 million allocation that was passed on to the Missouri Department of Economic Development and passed on to the St. Louis Regional Crime Commission. So in short, LRA is charged with reviewing, assessing, and demolishing up to approximately 1,000 vacant structures in its inventory in the city of St. Louis. And this contractor specifically, Flourish, is in charge of currently reviewing and conducting building assessments. So that means conducting assessments related to the structural integrity of the building, lot sizes, what is intact in the structure, and helping LRA to prioritize buildings that qualify for demolition. The LRA Commission did approve a contract for Flourish up to $200,000. And so in that contract, Flourish had the ability to assess approximately 300 properties, a minimum of 300 properties. They have now at this point in time completed 300 properties that have been assessed as a part of their contract and as a part of LRA's building inventory. And they have also exhausted the threshold, if you will, of $200,000. So this resolution is simply asking for the approval of $50,000 as a price increase to the contract and to extend the contract as their contract actually was set to expire today, the end of April. Just to clarify, this is not a request for funding. The funding that is supported by the program, again, exists within the funds that have been passed through from the Missouri DED to the St. Louis Regional Crime Commission and to LRA. So this is simply giving the formal required authorization at the board level to move forward with executing and moving funds to the important work of doing additional building assessments. So with that, I would make the recommendation to the LRA Commission to move forward with approval of extending the contract through July of this year and extending and increasing the price of the contract by an additional $50,000. As you also know, the requirement is that for any contract that goes above the $250,000 threshold, LRA would then move forward to presenting to the Substantial Awards Committee for their approval, which would then be brought back before the commission. So with that, I would make a recommendation to move forward with the approval of resolution 25-LRA-085.
I make a motion to accept the resolution number 25 LRA-85. Can I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Previous roll has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed.
Thank you, commissioners. We appreciate your support and moving forward with the very important work of the Missouri DED and Crime Commission and LRA demolition program. The next resolution that we'd like to present and the final resolution is 25-LRA-086. This resolution is simply authorizing an agreement with Vessel Corporation for Structural Engineering Services at 6111 Dr. Martin Luther King Drive. Just to give context, that building is actually the Wellston Loop. And as you probably know, the priority projects that have been prioritized by SODC, there are 4 projects essentially which are of the highest and the most urgent priority due to the conditions of these historic structures. And so the LRA Commission approved a formal resolution in May of 2023 that simply authorized the acceptance of funds to go into an agreement as there are phases to the actual stabilization that will occur for the Wellston Loop. So, and essentially, the first phase of that was evaluation due to the building's conditions and there being several, we'll just call it layers, that needed to be reviewed and removed to inspect these structural conditions. So the prior resolution simply authorized that phase. Now we are actually into the phase of, now that we have enough information and understanding the existing conditions, we now need to move forward into the design and the construction document phase, essentially preparing documents that will be used to then issue an RFP and to then from that point move on to the final stage, which of course will be bidding and the actual work to do stabilization for Wellston Loop. So this resolution authorizes that the proposal will not exceed $365,000. Similarly to the prior resolution, this is not a request for additional funding, as these funds are already sourced and exist within the SLURF work program for LRA commercial stabilization. So that is an agreement that has already been executed, where funds are being distributed to LRA and currently exist for these efforts and for these priority projects. So with that, I would like to again make a recommendation to move forward with the approval of resolution 25-LRA-086, as this resolution authorizes the very important work of further stabilizing the Wellston Loop Station, which is a historic site and a historic relic in our city.
I'll make a motion to accept resolution number 25-LRA-086. Could I get a second?
Second.
It's been moved and second. Previous row has the vote. Any nays? Hearing none, motion passed.
Thank you, commissioners.
Director's report. Do we have any director's report?
So commissioners, we are in the process, when I say we, SLDC is in the process of producing its annual report. So with that, we wish to wait until the report is produced. That report will govern specific outputs and KPIs of which LRA has operated, mainly focused on, as you know, the DED demolition efforts that have been underway for the past year, as well as our infill housing updates, as well as our lot beautification updates, Prop NS updates, and just general LRA sales. So once that information is publicized, again, we will be sharing that with the LRA commissioners and the public. Those are all positive updates, a lot of great work. And then what I will just mention in closing is that on last week, we held a phenomenal event referred to as Reclaim and Revive. Reclaim and Revive really, again, is not just a one-time event. This is a continuum that we wish to deliver to the community, where LRA is reporting out all of the active developments and the community's ability to participate in the mission and vision of accelerating LRA and alleviating vacant and abandoned properties. So we had approximately 120 RSVPs. We had a completely standing room only packed house. And the reason this is important again is because for the first time in a long time, we were able to bring forth investors, developers, CDFIs, banks, other program partners who have either led development or interested in developing LRA property, all under one rooftop. So we look to have many more of these events, again, as we continue to offer to the community our shared vision. It's not just the work of LRA, but it's the work of the community. And then I will also just thank those who have attended, those who have made offers on LRA properties. Again, this is a community effort, so we thank you for your participation, and thank you to the commissioners, and more importantly, our staff who handled the work, which is a enormous job on a day-to-day basis. So thank you, and no other comments at this time.
Thank you, sir. Next, we have the next commission meeting will be scheduled for May 28th, 2025. We are in adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Second.
It's been motion and second. We are in adjournment. Thank you.